What is good, you guys, and welcome back to another Invincible Guardians of the Globe video. Now, if I'm whispering, it is late. It is 2 a.m. in the morning when I'm recording this. But I had to get this video out. I promised you guys I was going to get this video out for you guys. So, that's what I'm doing. Now, as you see on screen, this is my month ago tier list. I posted this tier list about a good month ago now, and some things have changed. We've gotten an update that changed a few skills around. We got a new character, and we've seen a little bit of a meta shift. So, with that being said, I think it's time we update this list. Now, first things first, let's go about the rearranging before we hop into the new character. Rearranging, I will say the useless category is going to stay the same way. The bad category is going to stay the same way. The niche category is going to stay the same. The okay category, pretty much going to stay the same. Decent, going to stay the same. Good, probably might have a few more people added into here, but for the most part, going to stay the same. Now, great, amazing, FFF, must use, and top 5 are going to change. Now, I think I put Lucan a little too high. When I saw his stats get buffed, I thought he was going to be a lot better than I think he is. I think Lucan is down here. I think I jumped the gun by bringing him up there. His stats are good. I don't think he's better than Dinosaurus. The only thing that makes me even say that he has a chance of being better than Dinosaurus, that made me go like this, is because of the fact that Dinosaurus is human. But I don't know. Seeing them in battle recently, like I battled a few Lucans recently in Arena, and I battled a few Dinosauruses. Now, I'll say this much. I slammed both of them. My Conquest has slammed both of them. But I have noticeably seen more damage dealt by Dinosaurus than Lucan. But I also have seen the Lucans last longer for most of the fight. Most of the time. So that's why I'm a little torn. So I'm going to put him as number 1 in great instead of bottom of amazing. Also, robot. Yeah, that guy is going to take a big leap up to here. He is absolutely amazing. Also, Dinosaurus is going to take a huge leap up to... I'll put him like right behind Robot. Battle Beast, I'm going to have to drop down. Tech Jacket, in my opinion, I'll leave her right behind Dinosaurus. I don't think she's really changing much. Seance Dog, I'm going to put above Mark. Or maybe I put Mark above him just because, he's hard to get. I think Seance Dog could be up here, to be honest with you, when it comes to healing. Just because of how good he is, but he's just too hard to get. So I'll put Mark above him for that reasoning. Cecil, surprisingly, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Cecil, but you do really need to heavily invest into Cecil for him to be good, but he actually is pretty good. Cecil, I think, as of right now, has more unique value than Komodo Dragon. Komodo Dragon is still pretty good, and I can argue for, honestly, Komodo Dragon and Battle Beast swap. Battle Beast's damage, even though they gave him a damage tweak up, his damage has been better, much, much better, but his problem of dying fast is still there. He still dies insanely quick. Now, I will say, against Viltrumites, he has had a noticeable buff. Like, he survives a lot longer than he used to against Viltrumites. But it's still not fast. It's still not long enough. Thrags Thrag's conquests and Viltrumite Nolan's Blue Marks, they still destroy him. And that's the big issue with him, is if you're going to use a Coalition of Planets character, first off, you're taking a big risk if you don't have the artifact. And then on top of that, if he's going to get out damaged by a Viltrumite, and his whole point is to counter Viltrumites, then it kind of makes no sense. So yeah, that's my take on him. Now, as far as that, I think everything else here is fine. I think Donald, some people have him in S. Donald is good, don't get me wrong. He's really good on damage, but I don't see how Donald is on the same level as these characters. Now, Omni-Man and Donald, I guess you can say, are probably a lot closer than people give them credit for. Because Donald is really, really, really good damage dealing. It's just, if Donald got a totem, I could make a reason to throw him up here. Same thing with Viltrumite Nolan. But until that point, I don't think they're up here. Now, Alan, I don't think he's going to move. But he definitely still earns a spot. I think a lot of people want to bring him down. I think he still earns a spot up here. Because if you're going to run a Coalition of Planets team, Alan is still pretty freaking good to use. And if you use Alan with a Tech Jacket and a Space Racer, or a Doc Seismic and a Space Racer, or a Universe and a Space Racer, Alan is really good at giving them a huge buff and damage. Like, a huge buff and damage. So, take that as you may. Armored Adam Eve, regular Adam Eve are still really, really good together. Now, I'm going to be honest. Armored Adam Eve, legitimately, in my opinion, has no point to be used other than running with regular Adam Eve and Blue Mark. If you're not using one of those two characters or both of those two characters, there's truly no point to me to use Armored Adam Eve. You can disagree with me on it if you really want to, because I know you can use her Omni-Man and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't think she works with anybody else other than those two characters in the way, like, she doesn't work with anybody else in the way she works with those two characters. So that's what I would say about that. Now, General Krieg, I had General Krieg underneath Omni-Man and underneath some of these other heroes, and the more and more I thought about it, General Krieg is more valuable than these guys. I'm only factoring in damage and what they do on the damage end. So, with that being said, General Krieg has to be up here. He has to be up here. And same thing kind of goes for what we're getting up here. Doc Seismic, I still would say is slightly above Omni-Man. I would say he's slightly above Omni-Man because of the fact that he's a Viltrumite counter, and he does counter Omni-Man to a degree. Omni-Man can out-damage him very well, but Doc Seismic can still put in some really nasty damage. And once again, just being a Viltrumite counter, him and Alan surprisingly play really well together in the sense of, like, abilities on stacking on top of each other. So yeah. Anissa, obviously, she's going to be up here because of the fact that Anissa, if battling humans, is just absolute destruction. So, not too much to change here on that part of it. But I will say this. We're going to get to this top row. Universa. And you guys know, I've been singing the praises of Universa for a long, long time. Like, my Universa. If we go over here, my Universa, after we did some rank ups on stream, my girl is built. Don't get me wrong. Now, it might not be the craziest Universa you've ever seen, but she's built. Don't get me wrong. I got her built up. Like, skills and everything. I've invested into her. And she has served me well. But when I tell you that Space Racer has truly, truly taken her spot, she now falls to the bottom of the top 5. And I was going to leave her in the top 5 and just rearrange this, but I can't. I just can't. Now, I'm going to put her at the top 1 here, right above General Krieg. Or maybe you could swap these two around. I'm going to, out of respect, I'm going to put her at number 1, though. And I gotta put this boy right there. Or here. I truly think he's here. Now, if you want to put them this way, I won't be mad at it because of the fact that he hard counters him. Blue Sumark hard counters Shapesmith. He literally hard counters him. But the problem is, Blue Sumark usually can't hard counter my Shapesmith because I have cancel lock on him. But Blue Sumark is a hard counter to Shapesmith, so with that being said, I will put Blue Sumark above, but then at the same time, Shapesmith would only be he would only hard counter Shapesmith if Shapesmith is the first person he attacks. So I don't know. I think Shapesmith has a higher upside though too. So I'm gonna put Shapesmith at 2. I'm gonna put Blue Sumark maybe below Thrag at 4, and then Space Racer at 5. I think it's something along those lines. Blue Sumark is really, really good right now though. Blue Sumark is really, really good right now. A lot of people are using Blue Sumark right now. And yeah, I would say that's probably the new rearranged tier list. Nothing too crazy, nothing too drastic. A few people just got switched around. And now Thetis. Let's go over Mr. Thetis. Mr. Thetis here. Now, Mr. Thetis here. I've tested his abilities. I've worked on them. I've seen what he can do. His Planet Breaker ability is actually really good. Now, I am torn between is it worth taking from level 10 to level 15? Because although the damage does not go up much, the damage to the direct target does go up much. It goes up by 15%, which 15% is a good amount, a chunk of damage. And it's to the direct target, meaning the person he's attacking is going to take some real heavy damage. So I'm still determining on whether that's worth it. Same thing as I'm determining on if this is worth it. This skill getting it up to 5 to 10 is really not worth it if you're okay with it being at 5. There's really no benefit to getting it to 10 at all. Unless you are planning to push it to 15, which is why I'm torn, is because I don't know if this skill is worth to go to 15. And it's mainly for the fact that the amount of time for each charge does not change, which is really bad because it's a lot of time you have to wait. And then on the fact of it's only 70% of area affected damage, which for Space Racer and Tech Jacket is a huge difference. But at the same time, it's just not. It's also just not a lot. Now, I will say it definitely helps your Thetis stay alive. It kind of turns your Thetis into a semi-tank, like Thrag, because he gains 5% max HP for each Coalition of Planet ally on his team. So if you're running 4 Coalition of Planet allies with him, that's 20% extra max HP, which is a big boost to his max HP. But then the problem with that is it's just too much investment. And I don't know if it's worth it or not. Same thing goes with the Scourge Virus. Scourge Virus, if you take it from this to this, it's only bringing it up but so much. And if you get it all the way to 10, it's not really that different. And the main thing you're seeing a big jump in is really the defense reduction, the stun, and a 30% increase on the equal damage over time equal to 200% of its max HP instead of 170%. And once again, I just don't know if it's worth it. Like, I don't know if 3% of their defense reduction is that worth it. And the 1 extra second of stun, it's definitely not that worth it. So I don't know if it's worth it going beyond that. Now, the Allen ability from level 10 to level 15, I can assure you, is not worth it. The only reason you would even boost that skill to level 15 would simply be for the Thetis regeneration when he summons the Allen. And that doesn't even really matter as much as just getting your Thetis to a high level, because the stronger the Thetis is, the stronger the Allen he summons is going to be, which means the longer he's going to have to regenerate health. That's really the main point of this ability. So just getting this to 10, I think, is well enough. I don't think you need to get it to 15. And with all of that said, there's also a lot of ways to counter Thetis' main ability, which is this ability right here. This is his like main damage dealing ability here, which is the Scourge Virus. And there's many ways to counter this. If you use this flower on anybody on your team, once they drop to 25% HP, they basically would just they would just cure the Scourge Virus and wipe it out of the game. Like, it's just wiped out of the battle. So before it gets to even kill the first target, it's just going to get wiped out. Which is super hard count. Like, it doesn't get reapplied. It just fully hard counters stability. Then, on top of that, if you have an Adam Eve, she dispels debuffs. So when she pops her ability, she'll get rid of the debuff. So that takes care of that as well. And then if you're using Conquest, and he happens to put the Scourge Virus on Conquest, Conquest is literally just gonna headbutt him and put the Scourge Virus on him. So there's 3 different ways to counter his main damage dealing ability, which also hurts him as well. Now, the things that benefit him, since I've been talking negative, his main ability is really good. His second ability, for very low investment, is a big jump in damage of area effectiveness for very little investment. In Coalition Planet teams, which works much more better for GTA Ops than it works for battles, but it works very well for GTA Ops. The Scourge Virus, once again, also works very well in battles depending on who you're battling, and works very, very, very well in GTA Ops. And the Allen summon thing, I would say personally that works better for him in GTA Ops than it does in battles, because in most battles that Allen is deleted very quickly. But in the right situations, this can benefit him very well as well. And his stats for a support are actually pretty good. He has really good defense, he has decent attack, and really good health. Retrospect, I do have some really good gear on him. I think the Bergamot Trash Bag is one of the better artifacts to run for him. Because of the fact that this will keep targets away from him a little bit, and on a target that does get close to him, they might get a double effect, because between this and the Scourge Virus, it's like a guaranteed nuke on that person. So I think it works really combo wise good. But if you wanted to do something else on him, you could probably run something like the Disruptor on him to stop Thetis, to stop Thrag from countering you guys. You could run something along the lines of the Flax and Stun device. You could run something along the lines of Burger Burger. You could even run the Lotus Flower on him yourself in case you are battling a Conquest to dispel it if the Conquest puts it on him. And the Ragnar Claw, I have seen a lot of people running Ragnar Claw on him to actually make him do some good damage, because the Ragnar Claw, I think, is based off of the person's max HP. Yes, equal to the person's max HP. So it actually makes him do some really good damage. Even though he's not a good damage dealer, it makes him do some really good damage. So that I've been seeing a lot of people use on him as well. But with all that said, I think where I want to place Mr. Thetis is going to be great. I think I'm going to put him right between Lucan and I don't know, because I kind of do think I would prefer Thetis over Lucan. Let me look at Lucan's skills real fast. Slashes 2 random targets. And then if you wish to get this up to like level 10, flashes 4 random targets. So it's kind of like marks. So that's a better targeted slap, but okay. He then reduces their defense by 55%. See, you know what? That's actually not that bad. That's actually not that bad. And it's a pretty short ability. I think much shorter than Thetis' ability. Yeah, much shorter than that one. Okay. Now this one, boosting the defense when Lucan allies enemies. Yeah, this is for when they die. Doesn't matter much. This one is for the damage effectiveness as true damage. Now this ability is pretty good, but once again it applies on him dying. And this ability is pretty good as well. So okay, he has one good ability, which is that main ability. But it is a good ability. I'm gonna say I'll put Thetis above Lucan, but I think Lucan definitely is not bad. I really might drop Battle Beast, bro. That's how underwhelming he's been recently. I don't know. You know what? I am. I'm gonna drop Battle Beast here, and I'm gonna raise Lucan above Battle Beast, and then I'm gonna have Cecil there. I'm gonna do that. I think I like that more. Yeah. But yeah. So that is gonna wrap it up for this video. That is my tier list. Let me know what you guys think of this tier list down below, and if you agree or disagree. Anybody you think that I should change around, move around, let me know down in the comments. Anybody that you are working on or hope to see come to the game, let me know down in the comments. We also have a special video coming for you guys very soon, a fan-made video. A lot of new characters that were added. You'll see. Yeah. I love you guys. Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys have given me. Sorry for the lack of content recently. As some of you guys will know if you see my previous videos, what's been going on. But I'm gonna start locking back in and getting back into my groove. But thank you guys for being so patient with me. Thank you guys, like I said, for definitely being there. A lot of you guys have reached out to me and I really appreciate it. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the love and support for real. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Peace and love, guys.